every now and again, an international tournament happens, right? Every now and again, international tournament happens, whether it's the AFCON, whether it's the World Cup, whether it's the Euros, whatever it is, right? A tournament comes along and players from the diaspora, they start deciding, oh, today I feel Ghanaian. Today I feel Nigerian. Today I feel Moroccan. Today I feel Algerian. Whatever country it's from, it happens every single tournament, right? And this time it has happened with CALLUM Hudson-Odoi and Eddie Nketiah. Now, first and foremost, before I get started, I like Eddie Nketiah. I like CALLUM Hudson-Odoi. I like both players, both from South London, right? Both born in this country, just like me, right? I like both of them. I like them a lot. But, and I talk about CALLUM and Nketiah. Both of them, when you look at Nketiah, I thought he was a good off-the-bench option for Arsenal. I was always in support of him at Arsenal. People can go and check my tweets, can go and check what I've said. Was he ultimately good enough to be Arsenal star? No. And you would have thought, moving to Crystal Palace is the great move for him. It's the right move for him to kind of propel his career and, kickstart as a main number 9, because he hasn't really had that opportunity so far in his career. Maybe a little bit at Leeds, but he hasn't really had the opportunity to be a starting 9 at a club for a long time. Now, he started a few games, of course, at Arsenal, but he never really felt like he was Arsenal's number 9. But he's got an eye for goal. He sees he can finish. He can chip. He scored a few headers. I like Nketiah. I do. And you thought when he moved to Palace that would be his time, but then Mateta, of course, is there kicking on, and it's looking a bit long for him, right? It's looking a bit long. However, having said all that, I just can't agree with this whole situation with him now being open to playing for Ghana. For me, this is shameless. This is shameless. Eddie Nketiah scored 16 goals in 17 games for England under-21s. The all-time scorer for England under-21s. And in that time where he excelled, where I always believe if you do well for the under-21s or as a manager or as a player, you should be given the opportunity to see if you can be England's next future manager, or to see if you can get into the first team. You should be rewarded for that. England watched him be the all-time top goal scorer for the under-21s, and they gave him a grand total of 1 cap. One cap. For me, I would have got the hint. There's Harry Kane. In my time at playing for England under-21s, in my time of playing for Arsenal, etc., there's been Tammy's, there's been Dominic Solanke's, there's been Ollie Watkins, Harry Kane. The list goes on and on and on. Ivan Toney. We can keep going. I would have taken the hint. I would have been with Ghana at the World Cup qualifiers. Not now. What are you waiting for? You're 26 years old. You're in the prime of your career. And now it's when you decide, oh, okay, do you know what? I'm not good enough for England. I'm going to go to Ghana because they're at the World Cup. Ghana, 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss in the qualifiers. 8 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw in 10 games. Having to travel to Mali, Madagascar, Comoros, Chad, all these places. Just for 2 men who participated nothing of that to say, well, thank you guys. You're now good enough for us to join you. Thanks for the hard work. You're now on our level. We'll come and help you in the World Cup. No. That's not how it should work. I've seen Ghana run around with Andre Ayew and Jordan Ayew for nearly 2 decades. They've been running around like Grant Mitchell and Phil Mitchell in the East End. What's that place called? Albert Square. They're running the streets like Grant and Phil Mitchell do on Albert Square. No one can chat to them. No one's even been close to them. What? I'm Andre Ayew. My dad's Abidi Pele. Jordan Ayew. Come true, little bro. They're running around like Jeff and Matt Hardy in the Ghana setup. Oh, now Eddie Nketiah, who has been good enough to play for Ghana this whole time, could have been there like, yo, hold on. Well, you guys don't have to put through with Andre Ayew and Jordan no more. I'm here. I'm going to lead this new generation of Ghana. But nah. AFCON, they had a terrible AFCON. I'm not part of it. Terrible AFCON qualifiers. They're not even going to be at the one in December. I'm not part of it. Oh, but World Cup, you've qualified. Oh, I'm Ghanaian today. Nah, man. Nah, and it's not only them. I'm going to talk about the Ghana officials as well. But the Ghanaian national team, they have put in so much work to get to this World Cup. And one thing about African federations, and one thing about even South American, it's so much about spirit, unity, family, like a real connection with each other. You see when Ghana and these, they're walking into the stadium, they're dancing into the stadium. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, I know, hey you. I mean, yes, I know, hey you. You know, yes, I know, hey you. Asamoah, a baby jet, and then Asamoah pops out. He's there. You know what I mean? He's talking to them. He still thinks he's part of the team. It's lit. They're there. This is what they're there for. Unity, family, do or die. We do it together. Just for two guys who have been part of nothing to turn around and say, you know what? We're gonna play for Ghana, even though we've been part of nothing. I think that's a slap in the face of all the players that play for Ghana. I think that's a slap in the face. Imagine me if I contributed the whole qualifiers and now I have to play on the bench because Premier League players want to turn up because they couldn't get into England. Nah, man. Nah, I've never had a problem with players from the diaspora playing for the national team. For where they were born. I don't have a problem with Saka. I don't have a problem with Eze. I don't have a problem with in fact, Eze even wanted to get declared one time. But I don't have a problem with these guys. Jed Spence, all the cons. I don't have a problem with it. But when the hint is there that it's not happening, and there's actually a competitive nation like Ghana, that's when I'm like, I kind of don't respect it. I don't respect it that you waited this long. You're 26 years old, NKETIAH. And again, I like the guy. I'm not trying to attack him. But what I want to see is, let's see how committed these players are, NKETIAH and CALLUM Hudson-Odoi, if Ghana said, you know what? Thanks for being open now, but we're going to go to the World Cup. But by the way, we've got AFCON qualifiers coming up soon. We'll shout you then. Are they still going to be as committed? Are they still going to be as open? Or all of a sudden, is it them getting disrespected by Ghana? Same thing with CALLUM Hudson-Odoi. Now, I feel a little bit less for me, I don't have much sympathy for NKETIAH in this situation because I think he should have got the hints a long time ago. And now it just kind of feels like, oh, I just want to play. I'm just going to go there. I don't like that. Hudson-Odoi, he played for England 3 times. You know, he was a wonder kid. He was highly touted as the best player to come out of Cobham. You know, he's had injuries. So I understand with him, even when you look at England's left-hand side, you know, there's Rashford, Gordon, can he maybe? Who knows? I rate the player. Playmaking ability, IQ, dribbling. You know, I think he should score more goals with his ability. But I've always liked him. And coming back from ACL injury, it's not easy. Southwest London boy, I'm always going to respect him. But at the same time, I don't like that you're waiting now that Ghana have gone to the World Cup. Now you're open. There's been a lot of talk over the years. CALLUM's Ghanaian. Andy NKETIAH's Ghanaian. And amongst other players. But now that the World Cup's happening, I don't like that. I just can't get behind that concept. And the Ghanaian chief, Kofi Adams, I do not like what he's come out and said. Now, I'm going to read it out right now, people. He says, it doesn't matter if the player was part of the team or not during the qualifiers. It doesn't matter if the player has played for us or not, or played before. Maybe they were looking elsewhere, but we would not discriminate on the day the player played during the qualifiers or not. I watched some of the players and I believe they're good enough. But despite their talent, the final selection is with Eddie NKETIAH and CALLUM Hudson-Odoi. I don't like that. Oh, it doesn't matter if they played or not. They can come along. That for me feels like begging. Respect is earned, not given. African federations need to be a bit more. If you don't want to play, fine. I remember John Obi Mikel talking about this. If you don't want to play, okay. I don't like that we always seem to wait and go with our tails up and say, oh, do you want to play for us? Nah. You guys got there without them. And now you're going to go and start begging them. I don't like that. Especially coming in from the Ghanaian football chief. That's not the right message, in my opinion, to be sending out. I don't like that. I don't like that he did that, right? And I want to give a shout out to Otto Addo, because I love his response, and it was very much echoed how I felt about this situation. In fact, he even said a lot of the same words that I said. So I'm going to get this up right now. He says, Otto Addo says, it's a different thing if we've approached you and now you want to come versus if we've been approaching you all along and you said no. But now, because we're at the World Cup, you want to come. I think Ghana should always have a certain pride as a country. I think we need to evaluate each player and check the commitment, which is very, very crucial. We have a strong unity and definitely don't want to disrupt that by bringing in players who lack commitment. Exactly what I was saying. So commitment has to come first. Then if anyone shows in the next 6, 7 or 8 months through performance and genuine desire that they want to play for Ghana, then we are always open. For me, that is absolutely what I would want to hear from my manager. That is what I would want to hear from my manager, bro. Show me your commitment over the next 6, 7, 8 months. Then we can talk. Then we are open. Not right now, once now that we've just qualified for the World Cup. Not right now. Guys, quick ad break. Guys, the 2025 Guap Gala Awards is happening 7th of November. We have been nominated. FCM Podcast has been nominated. Please go and click on the link in the bio and also the link in the comments to vote for FCM Podcast as the best podcast / show of the year. Please, guys, massively appreciate it and appreciate all the support. But back to what I was saying. Let me know what you guys think about what am I saying. Am I being harsh? But I just think if you're a nation, if you're a federation, you shouldn't be crawling back to these guys. And for me, my thing is, right, I've always been critical of African federations. Travel, there's always issues. Pre-camp, post-camp, during the camp, there's always something going on. And you're thinking that wouldn't happen with European nations. So I think African football federations, whether it's from the government or whatever, more money needs to be installed into the game so these offshore camps are better. So these offshore camps are more enjoyable experience for the players. But I'll never agree with players shunning their national team, their motherland team, waiting for an England, waiting for a France, waiting for Italy, waiting for Austria, whoever. And then when it doesn't come, I'm ready to play. And even, guys, if that was the case, then see you at the qualifiers. As I said, we've seen Ghana have a terrible AFCON qualifiers. You guys weren't there. You were still waiting. But now it's the World Cup, the big World Cup in America. Wow, lights, glamorous. Woo! You're ready. I wouldn't personally. I'd say see you at the next camp. See you at the next camp. But guys, let me know what you guys think about this, man. I think this is always a big discussion. I want to quickly bring up the Nigeria equivalent to it, you know. Shout out to Scamzul for this tweet. He's named a few players. You got Leslie, you got Kaede. These are the ones I'm more familiar with. Leslie, Kaede, and you got Carney Chukwuemeka, right? He's saying, you know, Osimhen is too good to be let down. You know, get these guys in, right? Get these guys in. But the thing about it, right, is, guys, so you see Toss in here say, bad news, Germany, Italy, France, and Austria, all over them, right? And my thing is, again, you don't want to be in a situation where you're begging these guys to play. Kobbie's not even getting called up. Adam Wharton's not even getting called up at the moment. Elliot Anderson has just come in. Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham. These are the names that are already there. Foden's not even getting called ups. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, bro? Why are you not declaring for Nigeria? Now, some people, listen, guys, if you don't feel connected to Africa, if you don't feel connected to Nigeria, you don't feel connected to Ghana, whatever, okay, then maybe we have another discussion. You don't feel connected, then you don't need to play. But when I look at people like Carney, what are you waiting for? And I rate Carney. I rate him. I even wanted him to come to Man United. What are you waiting for? Leslie, France ain't calling you up, brother. You play for Burnley right now. You're probably going to get relegated. Nigeria are struggling in the center of midfield. We only have Iwobi and Ndidi holding it down. We need legs in there. Imagine if you brought in Carney, you brought in Leslie. Now you have 4 options. But these guys are waiting. They're waiting when the clear signs are, it's not coming. It's probably not coming. You might get the 1 cap. You might get the 2 cap. But ultimately, are you ever going to be their main No. What are these guys waiting for until they're 26 minutes? I saw Charlotte Amiobi do that. I didn't rate that. He waited until he was about 30 to play for Nigeria. He thought he was going to play for England. When there was Rooney, Owen, Heskey, shit, all these guys, he thought he was going to play for England. Shearer. Guys, man. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Am I being harsh? Like, share, subscribe, turn your notifications on. And once again, I'm going to put the link for the Guap Gala 2025 podcast of the year. Please go and vote. Please go and vote for FCM. Massively appreciate all the support. And yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this, man. It's your boy CultureCams. For me, shameless. But that's their decision ultimately. I got nothing more to say. I'm out. Peace.